I feel like almost every single video now where I'm talking about a game coming out in 2025, I start off by saying just how packed this year is for games. And I haven't really talked a lot about Xbox just in general because there isn't really a lot to talk about outside of their everything is an Xbox campaign, now switching gears again to making a handheld. I don't know. Xbox kind of feels all over the place sometimes. And honestly, one of the newer rumors is giving me the same feel. Apparently, there is a very big rumor going around right now that Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 are reportedly in the works for PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2. I just made a video covering the Nintendo Switch 2 because I am unbelievably excited for whatever that console ends up being, but I figured this would be a nice little follow-up to that because there is a newer rumor now that the Switch 2 is going to get announced on the 17th of January and release in March. And apparently these games are going alongside that, but they're also going to PlayStation 5. It's going to be a new version of both of these games coming out this year. And then one of the same insiders that talked about this also believes that even more first-party Xbox games are going multi-platform. I mean, we know that Indiana Jones will. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the smaller ones do as well. Things like Atomfall that comes out in March. Gears of War E-Day, I wouldn't be surprised if that also launches and becomes multi-platform. I almost said cross-platform. But Xbox is really going full multi-platform. I mean, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, and Sea of Thieves, all huge games, in my opinion, for Microsoft, all went multi-platform. As Dusk Falls was also in there. I mean, obviously Call of Duty is going to be always multi-platform. That's part of the reason they bought Activision, was to make more money. But we're seeing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, arguably one of my favorite Xbox games to come out in a long time, going over to PlayStation. Now, if you know me, I've talked about this before. I'm not a console wars person by any means, but I do love and hate exclusivities. My general opinion of things is if your developers and your studio, let's say Xbox, for example, crafted this IP and molded it for years and years and years, that should be your IP. But if someone like PlayStation is given rights to an IP, say Marvel, and they make a game, those games should be multi-platform. That's generally how I feel about it. Again, I'm not like shitting on PlayStation for anything because they got the rights for it and they have Insomniac and they made some banger games from it. But I also think exclusivities really breed innovation, or at least they should in theory. I mean, look at Nintendo. They make some of the best video games exclusively on their consoles, and Xbox hasn't really made much in the last couple of years. But my own opinions aside, I think that this is actually not a bad thing. I think that at this point, Xbox is in a very particular situation. They spent a lot of money on Activision. Obviously, Call of Duty probably made them a lot of money since they now own Activision, but we don't really know the numbers. At least I don't. I don't know the numbers of how much Xbox gets of a cut from Call of Duty. So I think them letting a very, I almost said very old franchise in Halo. I grew up playing Halo. I don't even want to say that. But letting one of their more historic franchises in Halo going over and being ported to the PlayStation 5 and the Switch 2 could be a really good thing. Not only will it spark more spork. That's a food item. Not only will it spark more interest in Halo, I think it is just a good thing. It gives more people the chance of playing these older games. Honestly, I think I'm actually a pretty big fan of Xbox having timed exclusivities. I don't know how I feel about that because Sony does it, right? I mean, Spider-Man 2, I think, is coming out this year on PC. So I feel like most things aren't really exclusive anymore. And I think that's just the direction that we're going. And if this is the best way for Microsoft and Xbox to make money and stay open, I think that's a good thing. So I believe these rumors can't speak English today. I think these rumors started from NateTheHate. He's a notorious leaker and he usually has a podcast, and he reported that he heard that the Master Chief Collection was being ported over, as well as Microsoft Flight Simulator is also likely to follow suit. Now, we are getting a Xbox dev blog later this month, or it's some sort of like dev showcase. It's one of the big things that they always do at the start of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if this comes up, and it would actually line up with the Switch 2 being announced on the 17th of January, because I believe the Xbox showcase is on the 25th. So that could generate even more interest in that console, but also with their partnership with Nintendo that Microsoft has continuously supported. I mean, they supported the Switch pretty well, so this doesn't really surprise me. And I wonder how this is going to work. I wonder if this is kind of the floodgates opening for Xbox to just fully be multi-platform. I would not be surprised if by 2026, Xbox is day and date releasing things on every platform. It seems like that's the era they are heading in. I don't know if that's going to bring them more money. I don't know if that's going to help them, but honestly, I think they are so behind PlayStation in the exclusivity department that it's probably a good thing for them to do this, especially because if the Switch is any indicator how much people love Nintendo and how much people are willing to go out and buy their consoles, this is also a really good money-making tactic for them. But this is huge, I think. I think this is a big moment that we are sitting here watching, because if you would have told us all like 5 years ago that not only would Xbox own Activision, but that they would be bringing a historic franchise like Halo, having some of their best exclusives in a very long time in Indiana Jones going over. I wouldn't be surprised if Stalker 2 makes its way over there. I don't know if that's announced or not yet, but if it does, I would not be surprised. Or that there's a chance that Gears of War and its newest installment will be day and date releasing, or at least coming to PlayStation within a year. I don't think any of us would really believe that. It just makes me curious too, because how is Sony going to approach this? Are they just going to keep doing their thing? Are they just going to not? I wouldn't really care either way, because I have everything. So for me, exclusives don't really matter. But I do think this is good for those who it does matter to, right? There are people who they can only get a PC, or they can only get a PlayStation, and they can only get an Xbox. I think this is a good thing just in general. It lets more people have games. It will eventually, I think, end the console wars, but it's been a long war. I don't really care about it, and I don't think most people do anymore. We all know Nintendo is king. Okay, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Please don't come at me. I just like Nintendo. Please, man. I don't need that right now. But in all seriousness, let me know what you thought about this news in the comment section down below. I know I've been talking about news a lot and games a lot and just uploading more frequently. So if you are new around here, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button while you're on your way down to that comment section. You'll see it. You'll scroll past it. It's really easy to miss it, but it's free. You just got to click it, okay? It's really not that hard. And then scroll down to the comments and let me know your thoughts, and we can talk about it. Respect my opinion. I'll respect yours. Thank you guys so much for everything. It's been Nate, otherwise known as Whikked, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.